What's up, everybody? Welcome to GameFreak, and we are going to talk about arcade emulators. Now, there's a whole bunch of different emulators out there. Excuse me, my glasses are all fogged. There's a whole lot of different emulators out there that will emulate, anything from the Atari all the way up to some like highly illegal ones, all the way up to like the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, stuff like that. But we're not going to talk about them. We're going to talk about emulators that have different arcade games and everything. And I know there's a whole lot of them, but we're just going to talk about four of them today. And those four are, they're fairly common ones. And I'm going to break it down which one I think does the best emulation. I'll kind of rate them here. Two of them are from the same company, so, they play, here, we'll just start out, like, right off the bat here. We will talk about the Evercade VS. Now, this has, it not only does, they're pretty much ROM dumps on cartridges, but not only does this do emulations of, basically emulations, even though they are on carts. But not only do they do arcade emulations, they do things, like I just mentioned, things from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, DS, Sega Genesis, stuff like that. But with this, I'm going to stick to the arcade emulations. Now, the arcade emulations on this are pretty good. They play good, they feel good. In fact, I liked it so much that's what powers the arcade machine behind me is this VS. So I really enjoy it. Do I think it's the best out of the four that I'm going to show? We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so the next one, obviously, and it's from the same company. This is the handheld. These are, when I say systems, I mean consoles or handhelds. Some people might say systems only means consoles, but whatever. I'm just clarifying myself here. For me, it means consoles and handhelds. It's a game system, regardless. But the other one I'm going to talk about is the Evercade EXP, and this is the handheld. It takes the same carts as the VS, so it's kind of in the same boat. It plays these arcade emulators just as good on this as it does on the VS, the console. So I'm pretty happy with that. Both of them are great. Both of them I highly recommend. The only negative I can say about the EXP, the battery life really isn't that good. And as always, I'm going to let you know if you hear some noise in the background, it's these guinea pigs. Every time I hit record, they go straight to the side of their cage and start chewing and try to find the loudest spot they can. And that's what they're doing right now. So I do apologize for that. So the next thing we're going to look at is also a handheld. And this is a pure emulator. And that is the RG35XX. This also, like the Evercade, has more than just arcade games on it. This has, I forget, I did a review on this. I think it's over 5,000 games on it. But they have everything from, Nintendo up to arcade games and stuff like that. Super Nintendo, Master System. They have everything. This is a really, really good device. So this, I tell you what, this plays... The arcade emulators on this are just great. They're super. I've never ran into a problem with any of them. And on top of that, they look really good on this. Believe it or not, for how small this thing is, they look amazing. So, all right, so let's get to the last one. And this is one that I just got about a week and a half ago. And, this is... arcade games is what this is supposed to specialize in, and that is the Super Retrocade. Now, if you missed any of my other episodes talking about, or not episodes, but videos talking about the Super Retrocade. I did say I had one problem with it, and that was on the arcade version of Bad Dudes. There was some cracking in the sound, but I have managed to go through all 90 plus games on it. That was the only game that I had issues with, which wasn't really a big deal to me personally. It might be to some people if you don't already own like a evercade or RG35XX, because all three of those already have the arcade version of Bad Dudes. I mean, you can get that for the evercade and EXP, and it is on this. So the Anbernic. So the games on the Super Retrocade, besides that cracking on the one game, they all played phenomenal. I have mentioned before, I'm going to wait to do, I can recommend it right now, but I want to give like a full honest review on this thing at the 90-day point. So I want to continue to play it. I do recommend it, but, by your own risk, because maybe at the 90-day point, I might have another opinion on it. I don't know. Maybe it might fuck up or something like that. I don't know, but we'll see. So far, so good. So when it comes to these four systems, which one do I recommend, or which one do I think plays the best arcade like emulations? Which one has the best emulators for arcades? Now let's start out with the one that I think is honestly probably the worst out of all of them when it comes to arcades, and this might shock a lot of people, because everyone knows I'm a big advocate for evercade. I love the evercade, but this, out of the four, I shouldn't even say just this. It would be both of these two. Oops, let's turn that around. Both of these two, even though I love both of them, and I will never not recommend either of them. I mean, they're both like so good. That's how good these other ones that I'm going to talk about are. These are probably the worst ones out of all of them, out of the four, even though they're great. I mean, I can't really diss either of them. They're really good, but out of the four, yeah, those two are the weakest links. To be perfectly honest, this Super Retrocade, actually, I think they looked a little better, even though the Evercade VS and the EXP, they play licensed arcade version. These are also licensed, but for some reason, they play a little bit better on this. It's a little bit smoother. The graphics are a little bit, smoother. I mean, you can actually tell a difference, even though they're both from the same arcade game. If you put them together, there's a difference, and you can see it. So I would put this above the Evercades. The one that I found plays the best, believe it or not, is the RG35XX by Anbernic. This thing plays so damn smooth, and they look so good. Even on this screen, they look good. And you can hook this up to your TV. I have a video you can check out where I do hook it up to a TV to test it out, because I've never seen anyone else do it. So I thought that I would. So I do highly recommend all these, but this, by far, in my opinion, probably plays the best arcade emulators. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe you guys have another emulation system and they play better than all these. I would love to find out, just so I can purchase one and give it a shot. I enjoy doing stuff like that. So thanks for joining me, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. And until the next video, game on.